So yesterday we had this same topic in the Hindi group. I think there is a lot of not misunderstanding, but basically there is seemingly hard. That's what I can call. So basically, what I want to talk today is on what do you mean by conditioning? Right? This Buddha uses conditioning. The conditioning means that eye and sight has to come together through a conscious experience. That's condition, right? So chakuncha paticca rupe cha upajati cakkhu viññāṇam. That's a condition. If that condition is not met, there's nothing that can happen. If the cakkhu is missing, then the rupa remains wherever it is, and there's no experience. If rupa is missing, like in the case of pitch darkness, totally dark, can't see anything, right? So then there's no sight. Okay, so we need to understand when Buddha uses sankhara, that word is created, is conditioned, is made up. So what I was thinking is that maybe I'll do this in Hindi session also, is that we not understood what cognition he's talking about. When we say cognize, the 6 cognitions. It's not talking about Chitta. It's not talking about Mano, because Mano is also part of Indriya. Mano is also part of Ayatana. So when we say 6 of them, that includes Mano. So there's nothing like I separate Mano out and look at Viññāṇa. Manancha paticca dhamme cha upajati mano viññāṇam. So this is the most confusing term if we were to split it and try to understand it. And it doesn't work that way. So what I feel is that there are many issues. First issue is that we have never bothered to understand it, meaning we've been so used to meditating using a cushion that we hardly get to see what is Buddha trying to say. So we just look at the breath, and our main objective is to somehow fix the breath watching. And that's all what we have been doing so far. So it is a challenging environment when we really see what is Buddha trying to say. So it becomes a recitation, basically. Manancha paticca dhamme chopajati mano viññāṇam tinna sangati phassa vichpachaya vedana, blah, blah, blah. So nobody's really bothered to understand or even reflect upon what is cakkhu and rupa, sota and saddha, ghāna and gandha, jivhā and rasa, kāya, pottabha, mano and dhamma. Because you're getting mano viññāṇam, you're getting cakkhu viññāṇam, sota viññāṇam, ghāna viññāṇam, jivhā viññāṇam, kāya viññāṇam, mano viññāṇam. So 6 viññānas. Okay. So I think it's misplaced when, even though the Indriya Bhavana Sutta talks about Sankata, Olarika, and the Patisamutpanna, all require good knowledge on Viññāṇa and good knowledge on Mano and Chitta. I feel from yesterday's discussion in the morning it was not much, but in the evening it went crazy. Even a lady asking me, what's the practice here? Just basically showed that, oh my goodness, this whole 1.5 hours what I've spent, and she didn't understand the practice. So great, then what are we practicing? So here is the story. So here is the answer to that. So I reflected upon this morning, and I thought, let me make some strides on this. Vijanati iti viññāṇa. Kimcha vijanati. And he's covered it. Lonampi vijanati. madhum pipe jana, thing like that. He gives you that in Kajjaniya Sutta. If a smart person is there, he can know that Viññāṇa categorizes based upon what is being given. Now you have to stick to that for some time. It's just not about reading that, okay, this is sweet and this is sour and this is salty, etc. Even though it is there in Kajjaniya Sutta, the poor guy, Buddha, I really understand his pain. He's given it properly. His given means he's given to the, I don't know, if I was a teacher, I would have run away. I think that's the reason Buddhas are compassionate. Seriously. Even with he giving, it is sweet. Now, what is cognition? It cognizes it's sweet. You don't have to teach it. It's sweet. Did you ever teach Viññāṇa that, hey, Viññāṇa, come here, let me teach you, this is sweet? Now, a child is born, a baby. Does a mother teach baby, this is called breast and this is called nipple, this is how you suck it, I will show you, demonstrate it, let me suck it myself and show you how it is, how the milk is coming so that you can now follow it? Have you ever thought like that? No. Any mammal knows exactly once it comes out of the womb how to suck the nipple, because it knows. That's Viññāṇa. Okay, there can't be anything, any better explanation I could give you than a mother to a child. Right? Have you ever taught a child how to drink milk? No. It will even recognize whether it is the mother's nipple or a artificial one. It throws it. It just does like this. Because it can't find the warmth. You got the point. That's the Viññāṇa. It knows. Clear. So, if we were to talk, what is cognition? It's a door-specific one. On which door it is coming? If it is coming on the body, it becomes kāya Viññāṇa. If it's coming on the eyes, it becomes cakkhu Viññāṇa. If it's coming on the ear, it becomes sota Viññāṇa. It just cognizes. And what does it cognize? Whatever is to be cognized. Meaning, the touch is cognized. You will not teach the body, let me teach you how to touch. No, it cognizes. If there is a girl child in your home, 6, 7-year-old, if a particular touch is given to her, she knows it's a bad touch, but she might not be able to express it. And she knows it's a good touch. It's a very easy way to understand Viññāṇa. Especially male touch on a woman or a female and a female touch on a male is cognized. You don't have to teach it. So if some daughter is there and some person touches the daughter, the parent touch it knows, but some other person touching it, touching her, she will say, she'll feel uncomfortable. And that's Viññāṇa, because it cognizes. Clear? So be clear on this. When Buddha says cognition, it means knowing. It knows. The knower is Viññāṇa. It knows. So when we say conditioned, it's conditioned by that consciousness. And hence, if somebody is a friend, it's been told as a friend, then, or experienced as a friend, then the consciousness recognizes this object to be a friend. If it's been cognized as an enemy, meaning experienced as an enemy, that Vedana feeling as an dukkha Vedana, so the cognition will be, this is an enemy. So the moment I see that person, there is a simultaneous feeling of dukkha, a simultaneous knowing of that object, which is sanya, as labeling, and a conscious experience of an enemy or a threat. So, if I take brain or neuroscience, amygdala gets activated, and hippocampus, where the memories are, gets triggered, creating a wave of uncomfortable body sensation, which makes it dukkha vedana. Okay, that is unpleasant feeling, increasing the cortisol along with the epinephrine, norepinephrine, and all of these chemicals, all these neurotransmitters getting at once, making adrenaline drive for fight and flight response. Okay. To cite an example, somebody threatens me. I have not even seen that person. I'm going on the road and suddenly, so that doing like this is already there. So you will do like this. It's a reflex action, right? You will not say, "Can you teach me what this means?" Have you ever thought like that? Excuse me, what you did just now, can you tell me that so that I remember what you're trying to do? By which time I think my, what I can say, this side of my face would be in bruises. So what I do, I cover like this, even though he has not done anything to me yet. That's Viññāṇa. They got it. If there is a smile on somebody's face, there's a smile on your face because it is friendly gesture. It's Viññāṇa. It knows. You got the point. So if somebody sees smiling, they also smile. If they frown, if you frown, they also frown. It's seeing, hearing, soft speaking. There's a pleasant feeling coming. Harsh, loud sound. It irritates the ear. So there is unpleasant feeling. So the Viññāṇa knows that this is unpleasant. So again, flight and fight response is taken up. Amygdala gets charged again. Something has come. So let me do something about it. And hippocampus carries the information about what that threat is, because there's memory. So there is a memory drive. So it just jumps. Okay. And the experience now is unpleasant, right? Or pleasant, or partially pleasant, partially unpleasant. So what Buddha is saying is manapa, exactly as per what you expected it to be. Amanapa is not exactly as it should be. Something is okay and something is not okay is manapa, amanapa. Okay. So the Viññāṇa is not just a physical input. It's a conscious knowing of the object in its entirety. So in Viññāṇa, you have sanya, chetana, and also the feeling, vedana. It's not they're separate. In fact, in the Mahavedala Sutta, there is a question asked to Sariputta, can you separate it? Samsatta, visatta. And he says it is not samsatta. Sorry, it's not visatta, it is samsatta. Meaning it is combined. It's only for knowledge's sake, for developing wisdom. But you can't separate these five khandhas and try to see it in like that. Or for that matter, you can split consciousness, Viññāṇa, and then trying to do something. So he says Viññāṇa has to be understood, and then wisdom has to be developed. That's there in the Mahavedala Sutta. So the first stop for us, as far as we're trying to understand, is Viññāṇa, not Mano, not Chitta to begin with. First, we should have a good grasp, clarity on the Viññāṇa, which I felt after the Hindi session yesterday, it's not true. Okay, so they don't even know what they are making sense or nonsense of, whatever little bit sense they have. Anyway, so there's 6 consciousness. Visible form is cognized. You can't create an audible form in an eye. In the same way, sota Viññāṇa, the sound is cognized. You can't create an eye consciousness in the sound or in the sota Viññāṇa. And ghāna Viññāṇa, odor is cognized, but then you can't make the eye or the ear to smell or a change. No. Jivhā, taste, like that. Each is individualistic depending upon the door it presents, the object presents itself. So there is a cognition of that. If you want to consider it like what Tibetans do, is to have a house with 6 windows. The person can be sitting in one window, he sees one. He sits on the second window, he sees the second one, like that. So cognition is something like that. When you're cognizing eyes, there's all the others will not be there. It's only one cognition at one point in time, but it does so fast, it seems as though there is a multitasking. And hence, when we are driving, we can be chatting on WhatsApp, but then suddenly something comes, there's a confusion, whether you want to drive or chat. And hence they say, don't talk while driving or don't get distracted, because you have only one single consciousness appearing at any sense door. Yeah. So when I say Hindi class versus English class, that's Viññāṇa. That's not Mano. That's not Chitta either. Please try to understand. So when I say in Hindi class, this thing happened, it's a language way of saying that there was unpleasant situation. And that happened in which sense door? Ear sense door. Okay? Because that lady was talking to me, so it's an ear sense door. Not the eye sense door, not the nose sense door. I didn't get irritation in the nose. Okay, I didn't get irritation in the tongue. I didn't eat her, right? I didn't touch her. I didn't think of her. But she spoke. So when she spoke, then the sound is heard. Now, that initial cognition is what matters. Okay? Clear? And that is conditionality. So when I say sankhara, it's conditioned by the sense here and the door at which it is come. That means this sense, this object, they are separate, but the Viññāṇa makes it joined. Got it? That's the reason he says chakkuncha paticcha rupe cha uppajjati. Paticcha, remember this, dependent. Dependent on the I and the form comes I consciousness. Otherwise, there is no I consciousness. Hope you have understood on this topic. Then we come to Mano. Mano is sixth internal and external sense base, just like eyes, ear, nose, tongue, and body. Okay. Why Mano is used? Because it can discriminate. I can discriminate Niru and Ritu through Mano because they both are females. Because the dhammas, when you say dhamma, it includes memories, images, meanings, concepts, intention, imagination, recollection, planning, viewpoints, teachings, thoughts, atita, anagata, pachupanna, ajjata, bahita, olarika, sukama, hina, panita, santike, dure, all of that is in the Dhamma. So if I meet Ritesh, for the very first time he came to my house, and video call, what we used to have, there's a difference. When I met him, he met me, the physicality difference is there. That is what happens in the Mano, the Dhamma, because the images. Then he had told me that he has a restaurant, but we had not seen the restaurant. So I didn't even know what it is. So when I went to his restaurant, and then the images, the meaning to restaurant, the concept of restaurant, the intention to go or not to go to the restaurant, the imagined situation of the restaurant, the recollected sensation of the earlier restaurants, the planning I need to do on the restaurant, the viewpoint I'm going to get with that restaurant is going to be done by the Mano. It requires the other five guys, other five people. That is eye, ears, nose, tongue, and body, through which the Mano can assimilate information and discriminate between what has to be done and what should not be done. And hence the Manasikara is part of Mano. It's a key decision maker in the whole exercise. Based upon the Viññāṇa, it also has its own Viññāṇa. So it then redirects the inputs and saying that, I think this is like this and this is like that. So if it is on a yoniso manasikara, also the Mano is involved. If it is an ayoniso manasikara, the Mano is involved. Clear? So Mano is the mental sense space through which the mental objects are known. When we say mental object, 99.99999999999 or make it 100 as Mano. And hence Buddha says Mano pubbangama dhamma, Mano setta manomaya. It's not Viññāṇa which is doing it. It's not Chitta which is doing it. So Mano, which is the decision maker, it's a manager. It manages the entire show on its own. All it requires is 5 people: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body. It does the rest. See, if I am recognizing Ritesh, the Ritesh is in the Mano. The meaning of Ritesh is there in Mano. The memories related to Ritesh is there in Mano. The conceptualization of Ritesh is there in Mano. So now when I see Ritesh and he has a bad time with me, or I had a bad time with him, now the Viññāṇa shows there, the Mano Viññāṇa, due to cakkhu Viññāṇa, says that, hey, you know what, Ritesh, the enemy has come. It cognizes. And Mano then decides whether to talk to him, engage with him, or not to engage with him. The decision maker, the discriminator, the knower is Mano. And hence Buddha says, Mano pubbangama dhamma. It knows. Not only it knows what Viññāṇa is knowing, it knows the decisions that need to be taken. And most of its decisions are primarily driven by impulsive. So if you want to refer to the neuroscience way of doing it, you should go back to the autonomous nervous system in that sympathetic responses, because you want to protect yourself. So there's a self-protection. So there is a flight and fight circuitry running. Clear? Now, I want to have an affair with a woman. The woman is a concept stored in Mano. The Viññāṇa will say, hey, something has come. The Mano Viññāṇa says that that's a woman. Now it categorizes based upon the structure, the function, everything. Says it's a pretty woman. And the prettiness is in the Mano. There's this concept. There. Now the decision. Should I hug that woman? Let's say. I want. And I and Ritesh are sitting in the restaurant, which I was talking about, that beautiful woman or girl or model coming and sitting. Ritesh knows her very well, but I am feeling jealous. Now, where is this jealousy coming? It's in the Mano, because it's comparing. Vilas, you see, you don't have her. Ritesh has it. Why don't you get introduced? After a few minutes, Ritesh says that I want me to introduce you to my teacher. At that moment, I am scanning the entire body. Goenka said, scan your body, but I started scanning her body. Right? And I'm doing good scanning, basically from head to toe, from each direction. And that woman says that she knows where I'm scanning. And the scanning stops at one particular place. And that woman knows where I'm seeing it. She is another odd woman, and she makes it even more obvious. So what happens? I forget all about what Ritesh is saying. Why? Because now this ayoniso manasikara has happened in the Mano. So where the Dhamma is happening? In the Mano. What is it happening? The concept of pretty woman. And where is that prettiness? In some part of the body, which I want to possess. She is playing around with that. She's teasing me. And Ritesh is saying what kind of a teacher I have. Because he came out of it and now I am in it. So he would do like this. What are you seeing? That doesn't work. Because I'm lost in her. Then Ritesh gets out of it and then he leaves both of us. And then I make so much friendship with her that I go with her and Ritesh, I said, Ritesh, I'll meet you later. Now, is it happened in Viññāṇa? No, not at all. Viññāṇa, poor guy, has no idea. That's the reason Buddha says Viññāṇa is pure and bright. The problem is with Mano. You understand? So, the conditionality is in the Viññāṇa starting, but taken over by Mano. It creates the same condition again and again and again. It becomes habitual, habituated. And that habituation is in Mano. Whatever habits, tea drinking to coffee drinking to alcohol to drugs to sex to whatever you want to call, is in Mano. Why? Because it's a controller of everything. From memories to images to meanings of everything, all the meanings. A for apple, which was shown earlier in my engage, is in Mano. The concepts, all the concept, woman, man, office, job, relationship, husband, wife, children, etc., the intention, what I want to do, that is Chaitana, is there in Mano. All imagined situation, the good situation and a bad situation, an ugly situation, all sensations so far, the plans, the viewpoints, including the Buddha teaching or some other teaching, and Atita, Anagata, Pachuppanna, all of that is there in Mano. So, it's not a story making. It's entire thing. The meaning, the concept, the memory, the planning and attention. It does comparisons, it combines, it processes, it does everything. It's a knower, it's an evaluator, it is a remembering aspect, and it creates furthermore cognitions. But however, Mano doesn't do the following. It doesn't direct its own attention. It requires other five. It doesn't do the sanya by itself. It requires others. It doesn't do the vitakka, it is debating, by itself. It doesn't do the chetana by itself. It requires another five of them. It doesn't do the craving. It requires the other thing of it, all the remaining five. It doesn't do the upadana, grasping. It doesn't do the sankhara on its own. It doesn't do papancha on its own. So it requires the remaining five to be there. Without these five, this guy will not do anything. Example. I've seen that woman and she's gone home. I might be thinking of her, but nothing will happen. I've gone to interview, I got interviewed in Google. I might be thinking on Google, when the next interview comes, I will do like this and like that, but nothing. It requires the other five guys. But when the other five people come, then everything happens. Okay, it structures everything. Clear? So if I compare with neuroscience, and that's the reason I'd asked Niru to join. Her name is also like neuro only. Okay, the prefrontal cortex is used for planning, evaluation, etc. So it is used in Mano. And parietal cortex, spatial recognition, attention, all of that is there. Anterior cingulate, ACC, that's another cortex where you require conflict, regulation, everything that relates to a particular situation or a condition. Hippocampus, we already spoke about, memory formation. Thalamus, that is required for information relay system and coordination with different functions of all, eyes, ears, nose, like that. So it jumps between different circuitaries in the brain and then tries to say that, what I should do. Basal ganglia is action selection, habit formation, initiation. All of this is part of Mano. So it connects all of this, or it lights up all of these places. That means the neurons start firing in all of these places when this happens. So if I see that model in his restaurant, all of this gets charged up in an anticipation. Okay, because there is dopamine which gets released. Beautiful girl, or a beautiful whatever dishes they make. So when the taste goes inside, like that other day, myself, Bobby, and we were eating, I was watching. If you taste, you're tasting noodles. That's Mano. The Viññāṇa is only that sweet and sour and all of that. But that enjoyment of that noodle or whatever tukpa, what he had given, is in Mano. So who is eating tukpa? Mano. Who is recognizing food? Viññāṇa. It doesn't know anything. It just basic information. So the conceptualization of tukpa is done by Mano. So what are you eating? Tukpa. So first we ask, what is this dish? Because Mano wants to know. Mano Viññāṇa wants to know. But it requires cakkhu Viññāṇa to see, sota Viññāṇa to hear, ghāna Viññāṇa to smell, jivhā Viññāṇa to taste, kāya Viññāṇa to touch. So when I touch it, I'm seeing and I'm hearing to Ritesh saying, it's tukpa. It's not registering. What did you say, Ritesh? Tukpa. What is that? It's a Tibetan dish. Now I'm trying to find Tibet. Have I heard earlier? So it goes and fits the information. Ah, yes, Tibet is there. So from hippocampus comes the information. Ah, Tibet. Yes, I've heard it. So thalamus takes over. Information relay system. It turns where? Attention control, which is in ACC, angular cingulate cortex or anterior cingulate cortex. It monitors whether this is exactly what is being projected, and then the information comes, yes. So parietal cortex, attention is there. So when he's saying tukpa, attention is there. At that moment, that woman or girl sitting there is obscured from. Why? Because now it is tukpa. So what happened to the seeing of that woman? For the time being, it is snubbed down, shut down. Because main intention is to understand this tukpa. Then comes prefrontal cortex, which does everything. That means it's logical reasoning. It does evaluation, it does planning. Ah, okay, got it. So now it is registered. So next time I'm not going to ask tukpa to Ritesh. The moment he keeps a dish, I know it's the tukpa. Unless it's something like momo. We've been eating momo in his place. So I'm not going to ask him, what is this? Every time he says momo. Cheese momo. He's been feeding every time I go. So he knows what I eat. So he just orders it, comes. So what am I eating? Momo. But what taste is coming in the Viññāṇa is totally different than the momo. I never ate momo in my life, actually. What if this Mano can be now reformatted? It's like a hard disk getting formatted. Removing unnecessary clutter into a more decently organized file system, where if you want, you open it, don't want it, don't have to open it. Or rather, categorize it properly. This is ayoniso. Without proper discernment, this is yoniso, after thoughtful discernment, whether it is going to take me to dukkha or to sukha. So I'll keep only those which takes me to sukha. I'll not keep anything that is related to dukkha. Can I do it? Yes. You evaluate the Viññāṇa, that Mano evaluates in Viññāṇa, but it doesn't immediately jump upon it. It takes time, pauses. So the neurons will not fire in the same place again and again and again and again. Instead, it waits. So I am now slightly modifying the default mode network experience. So why don't I create a new neural pathway? Mano. Now, what is Chitta there? You spoke about these two. What about the Chitta? Where do you cover it? Yes. Chitta is just the quality or the tone or a condition of the mind at this present moment, what it is filled up with. If it is tukpa, aversion, has come into the mano, so the dukkha has come into the chitta, and hence it is sadosa. It's irritated. The chitta is irritated because I asked Ritesh, I don't like this thing. I just want rice and dal. That idiot, no matter how much I tell him, he keeps that tukpa. And in front of that girl, I was eating the girl in a very nice way. He kept that unnecessary dish, and that girl is saying, Sir, I think you should have this. She's smiling and saying, I can't say no to it. But aversion is creating sadosa. Okay. But she is a raga to me. You understand? Now, this is what Buddha says, manapa amanapa. If Manu can really step back and see, hey, you know what, Vilas? She is eating this food. The body is becoming that. There's no beautiful girl there. It is just the tukpa there. You understand? Oh, yeah. So then what happens to the chitta? The dosa is gone. And the raga is also gone from that place. And the moha is also gone from that place. And it just lights. It was light from the beginning. So moha is gone, and raga is gone, dvesha is gone. So I'm in nibbana. No girl, no thukpa, no ritesh. Nothing being experienced. So what does the Viññāṇa do? Nirodha. Nama rupa nirodho. Viññāṇa nirodho. What happened to the Mano? Mano became bright. And now what is it? Vimukta chitta. Of what? Of this garbage coming from outside. So upekha, what Buddha says in that, is about knowing in the mind, mano, that this manapa, agreeability, amanapa, disagreeability, little bit agreeable, little bit disagreeable, is conditioned. Hey mind, don't take it. Evaluate it. You are an evaluator, right? Yes. So you can do good evaluation then? Yes. So you can do vivicheva kamehi then? Yes, yes, I can do. You can do vivicheva akusala dhammehi? Yes, yes, yes. Good, good boy. So then, if the Viññāṇa has got associated with the Rupa, would you take it as you? Would you take that Vedana as you? Because now that girl is sitting, the girl is replaced by Tukpa because her body is Tukpa. You are scanning a Tukpa from head to toe. It's a soup. You want to test it out? Yes. Ask her to vomit. Simple. Her body is having only that. If you put your hand inside her body, what you get is shit. Nothing you will get. No beauty is to be found. So you have wisdom. Panya has to be developed. Vilas Bhai, just develop panya, wisdom, that this woman sitting in front of you is coming into existence due to food. If there were no food, ahara samudaya, rupa samudaya. So this rupa, what you're seeing, my dear friend, is thukpa and tomatoes and onions and garlic and this and that and all taken together. He going for washroom many times and eating many times, shitting many times is what you can call as a woman. You understand? And you are also the same kind. So what are you trying to eye with that woman? You're scanning that what? What are you scanning? Body scanning. Yes, yes, I know. She also went to Vipassana course. You also went to Vipassana course. But what are you scanning? You're scanning a vegetable. It's a vegetable with meat. That's all. How? If she dies, you can see all crows to vultures coming and taking it out and eating. You think she's a pretty woman for you? There was a movie by name Pretty Woman, but that's not this woman anyway. So then the wisdom arose. Where? In the Chitta, through Mano. So when the wisdom came, what happened to the moha? Gone. If without moha, no raga and dvesha can happen. And then Sankitta, Vikitta, Mahagata, Amahagata, in that Mahagata happened. All the positive sides started to happen to an extent that it became Vimukta Chitta. And that way of happening is what Chittanupassana is. Okay. So root coloring is Saraga, Vitaraga, Sadosa, Vitadosa, Samoha, Vitamoha, Sankhita, Vikita, Mahagata, Amahagata, Sauttara, Anuttara, Samahita, Asamahita, Vimukta, Avimukta. So there are 8 of them into 2 pairs, 16. So how many chittas do you get? 16. Can I see the chitta in that woman sitting there? Yes, Vilas, you can. Just observe her. She's having raga, the way she's eating tukpa. Right? And look at Ritesh, she is feeding her. And her smile is dependent on Ritesh. Maybe he will give her a discount or he will say, nothing from you, madam, you are so nice. And she'll say, very nice. And goes. And Vilas is also going behind her. Excuse me, can you just give a small autograph? And she says, I generally don't give any autograph. Then heartbroken. And Ritesh will say that, I never knew you're so womanizer. Then the wisdom dawns on this bald head. Some crow will shit on here and then lighten up. So then became a saint. Now, how did the sinner become a saint? It's all in the chitta because it got purified. How did it get purified? The mano got purified. Pasannena bhasati va karoti va. Right? That's what happened. So it's purified. So chitta goes for purification. Mano is the decision maker which has to be purified by discernment, where you need to contemplate on the reality and non-reality, fictional versus non-fictional, conceptual versus non-conceptual. And the Viññāṇa then gets into Nirodha because it has no role to play now. It cannot recognize an enemy and a friend. Why? The Mano has said, excuse me, sorry, I don't take these things. I evaluate. Hold on, hang on. You give me the basic information as you were giving me, but you have no role to play. So Viññāṇa gets Nirodha. Because there's no Namarupa. Got the point? And hence it is Upekha, like what we discussed yesterday in the morning. I thought if I could explain that way yesterday, you'll all get bulbs. I saw that all the bulbs failed. So then I thought today, let me start from a better perspective. Hope it was good, or you understood, or still misunderstood. I don't know what else to be done, but I brought some examples to make the point. Maybe I'll do this in Hindi session as well so that those poor guys get to understand. So Viññāṇa is one, just the cognition part of it. Just knower, just knows. Based upon eyes and sight. Not just it knows independently. There's nothing called independent conscious experience. It's dependent. So it's conditionality. It is conditioned by the eye and the sight. A for apple. Apple is said to be. Let A be apple. If you were using a coding language, I can say let A be apple. So I'm instantiating A to have a variable called apple. So next time I don't have to call as A, I would call it as apple. It is replaced by A, unless otherwise stated. So when a child is shown A for apple, B for boy, C for cat, D for blah, blah, it learns the language. How? What does it do? It changes. It puts this in this side, LHS, left-hand side to right-hand side. It replaces what is in the left with what is in the right. And hence the Viññāṇa has apple now. It doesn't have A any longer. In any language you speak, so that's the reason Buddha says if miyate, jiyate, piyate, all that, whatever that he says, and then he comes to cognition part of it, which is the language making, adhivachana. If there's no Viññāṇa, there's no need for any language making. Because there is Viññāṇa, you require language making. Otherwise, you have body language. As soon as a mother holds like this, the child will open the mouth. Even though she has closed her breast, the child still opens the mouth because the child feels, now my mother will give me that thing. If that is not given, the child now knows what to do. It cries. Then the mother feels, oh my goodness, she's crying. So then she has to find a way to make the child suck the breast. So she struggles. The child is unwillingly crying. Then she finds, and the moment it touches silence, why? It got what it wanted. So that's body language. You don't require verbal language now. So it did exactly the same. It had a phassa, it had vedana, it had sanya, chetana, manasikara, which is nama. Then it had this rupa, physical, or rather pathavi, apo, tejo, vayu. So the child didn't have to ask, Mama, give me your breast, I want to suck. No child will ask. B for breast, and then, oh, it has this, and it doesn't do all this computation model. It just knows. That's Viññāṇa. It knows. Mano can discern. As we start learning, Mano can discern the language, syntaxes, how to put this, what to put here, what to put there. Like in many times, Aryu does he to she. He replaces it. He will be talking about a lady, or then he will put he. And then I had to, oh, when did he become a male? So my Mano will say that, oh, Aryu is saying he, but it is she. And after a while, he realizes and he says, Vilas, it is she. And sometimes he will make it she for he. So he does that. But my Mano is very intelligent. It can override that. You got the point? It will override, and hence the reason, if there are some mistake in the alphabet, you will still read it, if you have observed, because it can correct it. It's a autocorrection. It will do autocorrection. Mind can do autocorrection. Mind means Mano can do autocorrection, because it is knowing the concepts. Clear? So what it does, I told you what it does. What it doesn't do, I've told you what it doesn't do. Sanya and all of that, it cannot do without the other five being there. If it is there, it takes ownership. And hence, Buddha says, Mano Pubbangama Dhamma. Otherwise, there was no need for him to use that. Mano Pubbangama Dhamma. Mano Setta, Manomaya. Manasa che paduttena bhasati va karoti va tato nam dukkha manveti chakkam va vahato patam. What it means for those who can't understand. Pali properly is Mano Pubbangama Dhamma, means mind is the forerunner. That's problem in English, because Mano is also mind, Chitta is also mind, Viññāṇa is also mind or consciousness. So you should replace that with Mano, because there is no other word. Mano Setta. Setta means foremost, Shrestha. Okay, foremost. Manomaya. When you say foremost, it means cakkhu Viññāṇa is not foremost. Sota Viññāṇa is not foremost. Ghāna Viññāṇa is not foremost. Only Mano Viññāṇa is foremost. Got the point? Because Mano has its own Viññāṇa. It will aggregate everything up. It will certify. Manasa che paduttena. Now from this Mano comes Manasa, which is a plural of Mano. That means it has done something more than processing. It processes the entire data, and it did a padutta, harsh, harmful, or reactive whatever, agitating, irritating, whatever. Bhasati va karoti va. Now, from that mano, the speech or action is padutta, is corrupted by something. Paduttena. Tato nam dukkham anveti. Now it struggles, it wriggles to get out of that problem because it is feeling pain. It's in pain. Why? Because of autonomous nervous system response of fear, which will take it to sympathetic drive. So it gets worked up. Okay. Chakkam va vahato padam. Just like a wheel of a cart, when it turns, it follows. So nothing it can do. Now we can ask, why can't it get relief? It's there in Mano. If it lets it go, relief is found. If it cannot, it cannot. Nobody can make the Mano to release it. It will hold on to the old stories and keeps on imagining it that, this person will do this to me, that person will do that to me, people are out to ruin me, etc., etc. So it is in dukkha. And what does the Viññāṇa do? It just recognizes, hey, he's your enemy, he's coming here. Yes, give me. Starts feeding it. The poor Chitta getting into the current state is sadosa. What's the state of consciousness? Is in dosa, hatred. Who did aversion? Mano. Who recognized aversion? Viññāṇa. Because it was fed with that, A for apple. So A for aversion. So when that object is seen, it recognizes aversion has come and gives it to our friend Mano. Mano then puts the picture together, saying, yes, yes, yes. I'll teach a lesson. Right? But then comes the Buddha. It set the Mano by saying, what is dukkha? Can you get sukha? A smart person, a smart Mano, what I want to say, would understand that it is conditioned. You can drop it. You can drop the old memories. How? Don't go to DMN, direct mode network. Stop it. Create a new neural pathway where the amygdala is there, but it is not triggered for threat response. It goes directly to the prefrontal cortex. So can you do something like that? Yes. Why not? You can make the neurons fire differently. You can. Because neuroplasticity is there. What is neuroplasticity? It means neuron that fire together, wire together. That's the reason it's called neuroplasticity. If you keep on doing the same thing again and again, it becomes an habit. And once it becomes an habit, it's hard to break. Good habits are also hard to break, and so also is bad habits. Now, the bad habits have to be replaced by good habits. So create a new neural pathway which has only good habits. You don't want to suffer, right? No. And stop the 10 immoral deeds. Oh shit, you can? Yes. Even now you can. Right now, you can. The moment you do it, that conscious experience is gone. Which conscious experience? My girlfriend screwing my life. She's a horrible bitch. All of that words are not there. I'll put a case against her. I'll do this against her. I'll do that. I will screw up her happiness and blah, blah, blah. And I find there is no woman at all. Wait a second. Wait a second. I'm going mad. Yes, you should go mad because now that neural pathway is no longer accessible. So what happens? You rewired it from this to that. Now when I see that woman sitting in front of me with another man whom I disliked it from the beginning, I find no difference. I didn't want to speak to her at all. I'd put a case. Now this woman is sitting in the same restaurant along with that model, another table. I recognize her. She's my ex, whatever. But my attitude has completely changed because I created a new neural pathway. Guess what? I will go to her and talk. Forget screwing her happiness. I say, how are you doing and all that? And she says, this is my husband, he's my ex-husband and blah, blah, all that. So then I ask her a simple question. Are you happy? She says, yes. And she asks the same question. You did all this to me. Are you happy? Yes. Then I tell her, I'm withdrawing the case. May you be happy. Why? Because it's not firing. Neurons that fire together, wire together. So neuroplasticity, it would have created the same habit pattern. Now it's a new habit. And she's shell-shocked at my reaction. Then she calls me separately. What happened, Vilas? You seem to be a totally different person. I say yes, thanks to Buddha. Why? It created a new neural pathway. That is it. So what happened to the direct mode network? It's there. I can still access it. I'll only access what is required. But for most part of it, it's my new neural network. It's interesting. What happened to Mano? Mano has thrown out all of this. It's taken a new one. So what happened to the Chitta at this point in time? Vimukta Chitta. I am vimukta from that woman whom I was hating. I am vimukta from this woman whom I am eyeing. I was scanning her body like crazy. She was feeling uneasy. I wanted her to feel uneasy. But now I feel compassionate to both of them. I feel such a wrong thing I did. My wife left me for this habit, particular habit of mine. It's not she's bad. She left me for that reason. So why don't I then apologize to both of them? So I apologize in the mind, myself, saying that I'm wronged. And what happens to the neural network? A new neural pathway has been created, which is called compassion, metta, friendliness. It's a new neural pathway in the same Mano, not different Mano, created. So every time you can access it. When I access it, tears flow from my eyes. Now it is in pasannena manasa che pasannena bhasati va karoti va tato nam sukham anveti chhayaya anapayini. What a beautiful Dhammapada by Buddha. So nice. Why? Now the same woman whom I disliked, put case, wanted her to get so bad. I've withdrawn the case and I've apologized. And I feel no insulting. And this woman who just came for some food, I was scanning her inappropriately, stopped it altogether because the habit is changed. So the neurons didn't fire there. It fired new. So I am released, vimukta, of chitta. That chitta is released. So no longer this chitta is going to do anything harmful. And when there is no harmful, will it get established in a new realm or in the bad realm? So to say, the answer is no. So pabhasaram idam chittam. Clear. Hopefully, I cleared off this section. I guess I don't know how much I need to talk on this three, but it is, I understand the problems, what people are facing. I first feel, I don't feel upset, I feel frustrated. And then I re-evaluate, I feel so compassionate to everyone that, okay, let me think in a different way and teach them. So Niru, hope I brought in some clarity on these three. It is not exactly like that. It is much more than that, but what you have sent is almost matches.
Yes, it's very clarifying. Yeah, thank you so much, Vilasji, for taking it again and again and again.
No worries, no worries. That's my job. I'm just doing my job.
Yeah, you explained very differently today, and it's a very clear today. Very clear. That's how it feels like.
Okay,
Yeah.
but for some reason, Ritesh has gone into darkness. I don't know. His chitta is in dark now. Okay, you can.
It's going back. It's going back now, sir.
Okay. No problem. You can sit in dark. I just wanted to pull your leg and nothing else. Since I know you personally, I can have some fun. Like
yes, of course. Can I ask a question, sir?
Yes, why not?
Sir, so after yesterday's session, today in the morning, what I noticed in my morning walk is that there are two layers of conditionality. When we experience any feeling, any Vedana, then we have to observe there are two layers of conditionality. One is paticca samuppada, which is basically the why. So let's say when we are walking on the road and we are looking at living beings, we are looking at non-living beings, right? There is a reason for their existence there, which is condition, right? Which we have to understand. And why because we are able to see them. Why? Because we are walking on the road. If we are not walking on the road, if we are sitting inside a room, we'll not be able to see them. Then in every step of paticca samuppada, there is paticca samutpanna. Right? So that is the second layer of conditionality.
You told it right. I think when we take paticca samutpada and paticca samutpanna, you will have more clarity. I think I'll be taking it up after a few days, but what you have said is right. Absolutely true. First, you should look at paticca samutpanna and then it becomes paticca samutpada. It's not other way around. There's a sutta 12.2 in Sayyukta Nikaya, Pachaya Sutta. I suggest you go through it and then he explains paticca samutpada, ida pachayata, and then paticca samutpanna. basically, in this, what we are talking, you're looking at patisamutpanna and not patisamutpada. So slightly different, because out of the three things, we covered sankhara. I have not by purpose covered patisamutpanna because we require to know patisamutpada. So first I wanted clarity on these three things, and then how cognition happens, and when it happens, how it creates conditionality, which is sankhara, and it's olarika, means grossness or coarse. And then you have to look at patisamutpanna in that four dhammas, kaya dhamma, vaya dhamma, viraga dhamma, nirodha dhamma. And when you see like that, then you can see the patisamutpada in action as a formula. Iti imasmim sati idam hoti, imasa upada idam uppajjati. Iti imasmim asati idam na hoti, imasa nirodha idam nirujjati. And then it starts with yadidam, avidya, paccaya, sankhara and all that. We don't have to go into that. But if you want to practice it, you have to practice using the formula, not the 12 link. 12 link is the example, yadidam. But you should, if you really want to practice like what you said when you're walking on the street, it is iti imasmim sati idam hoti imasa upada idam uppajjati. This being, this comes to be. With the arising of this arises. So if I'm seeing a pretty woman coming on the opposite direction, there is no prettiness of the woman, except that there is a woman coming there. Woman is a concept which is there in Mano. So this being, that is Mano being, this comes to be. What comes to be? Identification comes to be. With the arising of identification, what happens? Avidya happens. Because I am now calling it as a pretty woman, and I'm watching her like this as she's moving. So this not being, that is a pretty woman not being coming there, or woman not coming there, this does not comes to be. This doesn't arise. With the cessation of this ceases. So if that lady is not coming this road, if she went to the other road and I can't see her, and there ends the experience itself. So I need to see it in this way for everything. And then how to cut it is the second one, where iti imasmim asati damna hoti. So if you use the discernment and see that avidya is removed, avidya yatveva sesa viraga nirodha. That means I see there's no woman coming there. It's actually just food. Then avidya is gone. There's no sankhara. There's no viññāṇa. There's no namarupa. There's no salayatana. There's no phassa. There's no vedana. There's no tanha. There's no upadana. There's no bhava. There's no jati. There's no jara, marana, soka, parideva, dukkha, domana, supayasa. Sambhavanti. It becomes nirujjanti. Evameva kevalasa dukkha khandasa nirodho hoti. At the very moment I get nibbana. If I were to practice like what you just now said, I should practice this way. Let's say, taking the same example, I and you are sitting, this pretty girl or model is sitting in front of us. She's talking to both of us. At that moment, I ask her name and replace the name with the proper discernment. That is, that woman is not being there. It's just food. Ahara samudaya, rupa samudaya. The sankhara is ahara. Olarika, seeing the body, which is just bones and all of that. So the patisamutpanna, kaya dhamma, vaya dhamma, viraga dhamma, nirodha dhamma is seen. Because she's eating means she's hungry. That means if she's hungry means her previous meal is gone. Kaya. Vyaya, its age is going off. Viraga, now you see it's fading away. She's sweating. Her, because you have put so much of spice in that thukpa and she put even more spice on top of it, she started to sweat, and you can see water droplets coming here, everywhere. And she's taking her nice looking, what I can say, wipes, and then doing this. But along with that coming that whatever makeup she has put, it is showing away, and her lipstick is fading away. So viraga, nirodha, that look what she had before eating is not there. And we told her, don't eat much. And she ate. So she's burping. She's doing that. We both told her, don't eat, don't gulp like that. But she didn't. We know, okay, Nirodha Dhamma. What happened? Iti imasmim asati damna hoti. Now this woman is gone. Imassa nirodha idam nirujjati. It ended. And with that ending, no avijja. Avijja yatveva sesa viraga nirodho chago patinisaggo mukti analayo. Done. What has to be done? At the very moment I am in Nibbana. I'm not only Arhat, I'm in Nibbana at exactly the same time. I can be doing that again and again and again and again. And I can just be sitting looking at her, fading away. So there's no interest. Absolutely no interest even in the tuppa or whatever it is and that girl sitting in front. I see no interest in that. But still I'm talking to her. You're also talking, I'm also talking. So can I do like that? Yes. How quickly is the question? Sotapanna will take huge amount of time. Sakadagami will take lesser than Sotapanna. Anagami can do it almost equivalent to Arhat. And Arhat anyway can do. So how much time does it take for me to make the woman go away? Hardly a second. And that's it. So can I know I'm an Arhat? Yes. Can I know I can do this? Yes. Can I know Patisamutpanna and Patisamutpada together? Yes. Can I know what arose and what went away? Yes. So I looked at the 12-link formula to see that, oh, avijja, this woman is the avijja. Why? Asavas. So asava kaya jnana. So I just looked at kamasava. There? No. What's there? It's a piece of bone and flesh. What is there? Kamasava is not there. Bhavasava. Do you want to become something? Husband or something, or a girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever. What will you do with the shit? No, no way. No bhava. Avijjasava. No avijja is there. Because I'm not seeing any woman there. Avijja is required if there's a woman. So in the chitta, it's vimukta. So there's nothing called woman there. So when I see asava, asavas create avijja. So when there is no avijja, avijja yatveva sesa viraga nirodha. So then asesa means even a residue, viraga. I'm not attached. Anapayo, anupayo. I'm not even closer to anywhere. Asesa viraga nirodho. It is cessation. Chago. That means given up. Tyag. Given up. Chago. Patinisaggo. Cut off. Mukti. Mutti. Liberated. Analayo. Not leaning on anything. That's it. Now there is no Tista Himalaya restaurant, nor Ritesh, nor that woman sitting there, not even Villa sitting there in the first place. So my question to all of these guys, I mean, when we're having a meeting with Amar and Suresh, was that I want to stay at your home without making you notice I'm at your home. Like I done with Bobby, I done with Shaniel. I didn't do it with Ariu, but this time I will do it. He won't even feel I'm there. Okay, so can I do like that? That means I'm there, but I'm not there. You'll not feel. You'll exactly not feel my presence. So like that. So then it is this. Avijja yatveva sesa viraga nirodho chago patinisaggo mukti analayo. Then I can see the 12 links are not there.
Just a small follow-up question, sir.
Sure.
Jhana is sukshma. It's not Olariko.
No, Sukuma, yes.
It's Sukuma. But is it not conditioned, sir? Because
Yes,
it
it
is
is
based
conditioned.
on sankhara.
Everything, see, you have to do jhanas, otherwise you can't still the mind. So there's no way you can skip jhana. That's the reason in that Akankeya Sutta, Buddha says, don't forget jhana. And Samma Samadhi is for jhana. So whether you call it conditioned or whatever it is, you require it.
So this Patic Samutpanna principle is applicable on jhana also, sir. Because
Yes, absolutely.
it is share, ray, and
No,
virat.
that is there. But if in order not to have karma taking over, you should be in jhana. Otherwise, karma will take over. It just takes over. I keep on staring at that woman. If I'm not in jhana, I keep on staring at the woman. Or I'll,
Absolutely.
if not woman, then on the food items what you have kept there.
Yes. And sir, is nirvana, matlab, that is also sukshma in a way, that is also conditioned, na, sir?
No. Nibbana cannot be. Then if everything is conditioned, there is nothing called as a release. The chitta has to get released. That is the cheto vibhakti, right? What we just now spoke. And that has to happen. In that release state of consciousness, then there is nothing to hold on to. That's the reason he says mutti analayo.
Got it. Got it, sir. Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Thank you.
Any other questions, concerns, confusions? Okay, if nobody has anything, I think we can good to close. Or I have time, so there's nothing binding me that to close off. And
Just small, sorry.
yeah, sure.
So as a sota panna, sir, I'll again take that example of a attractive woman. Now, as a sota panna, I'm learning to discern, right? And as long as I am in that state of my mind where I am able to reflect on the Dhamma, it is okay to keep looking at that woman, but you are in a state of mind where you are understanding the reality of that, the nature of that particular being. Right?
Just like
it's not just
no, you just like take Ritu and Niru, for example. They both are on video, they're women. So if you keep on looking at both of them, they both have variations in the body. They both have different structures. They have, even though they both are women, they're structurally different. Structurally different means you can discern. You can say that she looks this way and she looks this way. Okay. Now, depending upon what is there in the Mano, that is how a particular feature should be in a woman, and I'm started evaluating as a sotapanna. As a putujana, I am looking at this woman. As a sotapanna, still I'll be looking in a kind of thing that, oh, she looks so pretty. That is there. Even a Sakadagami would do that. It's not that these two people wouldn't do it. But there is a discernment. There's a discernment that, wait a second, this body is made up. Then there's a going back and forth, going back and forth.
Detaches itself, sir.
Yes, it detaches itself, and the more it detaches, the more you're coming to the fruition of the next step, next level, which is Sakadagami or Anagami, like that. Supposing I reach Anagami stage, and then when I see Ritu and I look at Niru, that distinguishing mark, that nimitta is gone. That's a very strange thing. I can't see anything there which is drawing my attention or drawing the attention of that Mano. Okay, there's no concept formation that she looks pretty and she looks not pretty. Let's say Niru has white gray hairs and she has cut her hairs, whereas Ritu has dark hairs. So my concept of looking pretty or healthy is dark hairs because she looks young. So that becomes productive. So what I'm reducing that woman to a biological structure in the mind, because that's how we are all made up of. In the brain, that's how it is wired. That it is
Sanya.
productive. Yes, it's a sanya. So when I see the black hair, it automatically triggers a reaction that she's very productive. But when I see the gray hairs on her head, I see non-productive. Who made this? It's a Mano. Whereas when I get into anagami stage, very strange thing happens. There's no black and white at all. And there is nothing called brown or dark or this or that or whatever it is. I just see them as two beings waiting for their death to come near. That's all I see. Is that somebody has been put in imprisonment life term and we don't know when that life is going to end. So from a way of seeing them as two separate bodies and looking pretty and one looking like this and like that, since there's no kamachanda and there's no vyapada at all, what happens is I see them, I'll be seeing them and seeing them forever. Because I'm just seeing a being in it rather than a body being projected. And what if I'm an arhat? Exactly the same thing, but even more quicker than an anagami. Because now I can do both. I can see her as Niru, and the very next moment I can look at her as a piece of bone and flesh. And same thing with Ritu. So the womanness is gone, completely gone in both, in anagami and arhat. There's no womanness as good as manness. There's no ness at all. So then what happens? Then you see Ritu, I just wish that let her not come back to this existence with a female body. Makes no sense. Let her get relief from this suffering. Being feminine is such a pain. And when I see it, Niru, the same thing, or any females, I look at the same thing. So coming back to that model explanation is when I see her at an anagami and arhat, compassion comes because if she's unmarried, she's going to become a mother. And she has to undergo such a pain. If she's already a mother, then I feel so much for her because she has kids and she's so attached or emotionally attached with them. And ultimately she doesn't get anything. So I just wish that she gets some peace. And that's all would be my wishing. So when I'm seeing her, I don't see her pretty body. I see her that she's been eaten away by so many people. So if one of them cannot see it in that way, because every person would like to see some parts of her. So what if I don't have to see it in that way? At least I have saved her from such kind of eyes or such kind of touch or smell or taste or whatever it is. Because I feel like I'm eating like an animal. So I feel so connected with that woman. I feel, oh my goodness, let good happen to her, even though she's very pretty and she's worn dress which is completely revealing. There's nothing left in her to close. And Buddha uses one sutta is there where he says that short-clad dresses are always an eye opener for a bhikkhu. He gets caught up. So he calls them as gharial. Gharial means crocodile who will bite it. So when I see this woman partially clad or partially dressed, almost everything is visible. still I feel, let her get peace. Let her not come to this existence, because it's of no use. People keep on staring like this. What a pain to carry. And you are in an entertainment industry where you just have to keep on showing your skin for money. What a sad story of affair. That's what I would feel when I meet that model in your restaurant. As a Sotapanna, I still have enjoyment. That's there. As Sakatagami, little bit. Anagami, no enjoyment. Got it. That's how it would go. It's not that we both will not speak to her. We will. It's not that we both will not be seeing her. We will. But the experience is completely different.
Understood, sir. Thank you.
So what would even happen since I took this topic is that I myself become that woman or that mother. So I feel so many people are biting me everywhere. That's a different feeling altogether. It's like you feel so compassionate that for that moment you feel like, oh my goodness, this mother should get liberated. So that whether she's worn a dress, she's not worn a dress, makes no difference to me. And that's liberation of the Chitta at that moment. So it is not holding on to this woman in the Chitta. So Chitta Vimukti has happened. The Mano is pure. It didn't pick up wrong thing. And the Viññāṇa is Nirodha. That's the reason he says, Viññāṇasya nirodhena yatte samuparajjati. Meaning it's released, completely released, no bound, unbound. Okay. Hope it was clear.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else from K to P to M to N to whatever those round things are? Okay, don't have anything. Yes, Ari, go ahead.
Hopefully, a very quick question. I think you mentioned the wisdom comes in the Chitta.
Wisdom comes in the Mano, and that is translated to Chitta as Vimukta, because
Okay.
it projects whatever is there in the Mano.
Okay, got it.
So again, coming back to this point, Viññāṇa has to be understood, wisdom has to be developed, and developed where? In the Mano. So, what is the practice? Practice is sankhara, which is in Viññāṇa. And looking at the Mano Viññāṇa, also Viññāṇa, as Mano and Viññāṇa is the decision maker. So you or me is that decision maker. You just decide which way you want to make it. This way is samsara. This way is nissarana, samsarana. Samsara and release from samsara. Right? So then, if you turn this way, it comes to samsara. If you turn that way, it will cut the samsara. So you have to use discernment in the Mano to cut off so that the Chitta gets liberated of holding on to something which it shouldn't be holding. So now the question comes, is Viññāṇa, Chitta and Mano are different? No, they are the same quality, but they are different grades. Clear? And hence Buddha for cleansing talks about Chitta, for knowing he talks about Mano, for cognition he talks about Viññāṇa. So final example, Ritu Viññāṇa. Prettiness, ugliness, fatness, leanness, thisness, thatness, Mano. Raga on Ritu body is Chitta. Dvesha and Chitta. Moha Ritu is good looking Chitta. Clear? Very simple example. So next time if she is not putting that dye on her hair, then she looks old, and then I say, what happened, Rituji? You are looking so beautiful. I think you should put color. I can't stand without you having that color. You look so nice. Now, where is that happening? Viññāṇa is saying that the hair doesn't have color. And Mano is where saying, this is not good to me. It's not looking appropriate. So that evaluation is happening in the Mano. So she's beautiful. That beautiful as a concept is now, she's ugly. So I want her to look beautiful or pretty. Then where it is happening in the Chitta, what's happening in the Chitta? It's dosa. It's colored by dosa. Aversion or hatred. So when I see Ritu, that is Chakunchapati Charupe Chupaja Chakku Viññāṇam, it's only saying that Ritu doesn't have color on her head. That's all. But the beautification and ugliness is done by the Mano. And the Chitta will have dosa. Now, how do I release it? When I see Ritu, Ahara Samudaya, Rupa Samudaya. Got it. Ritu means food. And food will get destroyed. Got it. Then what happens to Mano? Mano is what did this, knowing it correctly. The Viññāṇa still showed Ritu only. But beautiful, ugly, or released was done by Mano. So then in the Mano, there's nothing. I feel, so the Chitta, Vimukta. So now she can't entice me with anything. That poor lady was not enticing me. It was my mind which was enticing it. Because I was going forward. She was not saying, come, come, come. I was flirting with her, not she flirting with me. Okay. It's my mistake, but I'm putting it on her. That's how we do. It's my mistake. So I accept the mistake. Meaning in the Mano, there's an acceptance. Yes, it was wrong to flirt. Gone. That is new neural pathway. Okay, think I covered everything on neuroscience and this and that or whatever. And if I am wrong in some way, Neeruji, you can correct me because you are a psychotherapist and I'm a psychic person.
Psychotherapy is slowly reaching to psychic level. Eventually, hopefully.
Yes. Hopefully, no. If I done some mistake, you can correct me, is what I said.
I don't think psychotherapy is still at that level. So that's just...
I know that, but the way I explained on the each one of these aspects of neuroscience. If my son would have been sitting here, I would have asked him if I do some mistake, because he's a certified fellow. I'm not certified. I'm not qualified that way.
Yeah, so I was doing some parallels, but I figured out, yeah, it's not right to do the parallels with the
Yes, absolutely.
neuroscience versus, yeah.
There
that
are
I
a lot of
figured out.
gaps in that.
Yeah.
This is at much lower than what the neuroscience can think of.
Yes.
But anyway, but still it will be nice to do it, because many of these concepts will get clarified how things work, especially on the when we look at the autonomous nervous system. Many things can be corrected. Okay, I think it's already 12:45 for you. 12:47. Okay, it's almost reaching 1. I think we should allow you to sleep. Okay, all right. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. And then catch you tomorrow with the next thing about the Indriya Sambara. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.